with you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this forum. Okay, I have submitted the slides. I would like to know if you would like to project them.
I would. I'm going to do that now. There we go.
All right, thank you. Looking at how to manage the situation currently, specifically dealing with the school situation. And the first slide, it looks at how to build a principal's confidence needed to lead when he or she is not certain. And ultimately, this comes down to good communication techniques. We need to ensure that there's an open line of communication that happens within the school environment and to the next level of protocol that one needs to follow. You will generally find during this time, there's a lot of uncertainty on what needs to happen when there's a crisis at school involving COVID. And you will find at school, our next level of communication from the school management team going to the principal is the district office. And each of our schools have
Poovan, sorry to interrupt you. We're struggling to hear you, so I'm not sure if it's your sound, but if you want to maybe just turn the volume up for us a little bit. Thank you.
You click up. Okay, I was like, huh? The record.
Still not really. Let's try again.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay, that's good. So where do I start again?
Communication. You were talking about communication.
And communication is key during this time of the crisis that we are currently facing. Each of our schools currently has our management teams, and from the management team you would find that the next level of reporting is at the district level. And at the district level, each of our schools has an allocated IDSO or a cluster leader that is responsible. The principal needs to feel whenever there's a need or a dire situation where there's uncertainty, that the principal can find at any time that he can communicate 24/7 to that support structure. And when we find there is a break or there's a lack of communication that we're having with the immediate supervisor, the principal also needs to feel that the director that is responsible for the schools, that he or she can at any time pick up the phone and communicate. Having that support structure and having the confidence to the person above automatically will make the principal feel positive. And having that positivism in that person and having constructive feedback makes a difference in running and managing a school. So open lines of communication is key in all aspects besides having the virus currently that we're exposed to. Okay, the next slide.
Thank you. Can I just ask, Poovan, while we're there, the way you're sitting now is perfect, the sound, but the minute you move your chair, either to the left or the right, we lose you. So you have to really speak into the mic for us, please.
Okay,
Thank
fine.
you. Perfect, yeah, stay like that if you can. Thank you.
Okay. So the next one we're looking at is how do we manage the expectations? You know, generally you would find that information is required, and information currently that is required, you'd find that it's in a short space of time. But one needs to be vocal and make it very clear that when one is required to submit information, or shall we say stats in that matter, information needs to be realistic when we're submitting. We cannot say that you need something that is submitted this morning from the department and it's requested by the afternoon. That is something that is unrealistic in the time frame. So time frames need to be realistic. The second thing is you need to look at, are we meeting the expectations? And when we meet an expectation, it needs to be not something that is of compliance. It is something that we are submitting that is factual information. There must be guidelines that are provided, and without guidelines, one is not able to complete any information accurately. Guidelines need to be simple. And when we communicate in a simple form of language, it makes our processes much more easier. When we are communicating and when you find that there is explicit language used or language that is too high to communicate, one needs to understand it doesn't matter that one being a principal, that a principal is extremely highly educated. We find constantly just a word or a phrase of a sentence can become ambiguous. So keep language to simple, even when you're communicating with parents and to learners. Keep the language to simple so that we meet our expectations. And when we submit information, always copy our line function so that one is not left in saying that documents have not been received or we do not have this. And then you will find that somebody constantly hovering over you to say, we do not have this. Next slide. Criticism and judgment. You know that we always say that truth will prevail and justice will reign. And it's something that you need to follow as being managers in any situation that we are placed in. We are brought up and we follow policy as a department. In life and in society, we have our certain ethics and morals. One will always need to consider when we make decisions, is it ethically and morally right? And when you look at truth, even if it means you standing alone, but stand on your own 2 feet at the end of the day. Do not be bombarded by saying that I need to change a decision or I need to side with the majority. No. Remember, at the end of the day, if you stand alone, stand by your own ethics and morals in society. Don't make someone change the decision. Truth will never be defeated. You know that. You will always find when you are criticized or someone is being judged, one needs to remain calm in the situation. Do not allow emotions to take a stance. And once emotions overrule our situation, then we would not speak what is actually that's going on. Also, at the same time, we need to respect the school and the organization that we come from. It is the name that we carry. Always look at it as an opportunity to learn. And you will always find criticism as either being positive or negative. Always listen. Do not comment. And you will find that criticism always puts you on a stepping stone to go further. We'll always find people will criticize. You will always find someone who knows a little bit, but will always criticize you. And will always say, that's something that's not right. Or we could have done that. But at the end of the day, you as a principal stand on your ground. And that is your decision that you have made. Go by it. Next slide, please. When you're looking at how focused we are during all odds, or shall we say, all daggers against you. This depends ultimately how we start our day and how we end the day. You will find that each one of us has God in whatever faith that we believe in. We start the day with prayer and we end the day with prayer. God is your only friend and support and a comforting structure. You know, we all say that we all have friends. Our friends will listen to us. But how long is that friend going to be with you? How long will they support you? How long will they comfort you? Your only true person that you can have that comfort is God. So no matter what the situation is at school, God is there to protect you and guide you, provided that you do things ethically and morally correct at school. Our core focus at schools is to ensure that we deliver, and our end is to make sure that we make a difference to our children that we serve. The children are in our hands. Whatever we do, our first priority is to ensure that we deliver to the child and not to divulge from the truth. That in serving the child, and our core focus and purpose in life as being in the Department of Education is to make a difference in our children. And ultimately, the decisions that we take needs to be backed by our legislative framework. Next slide. When we're looking at the community and at the positive outcomes of the post-pandemic, our thoughts, words, and actions speak for ourselves. You know that. As we speak, and whatever our thoughts are, remember, our thoughts always currently need to be positive. And when you think positively, that's thought processes that we're going through. Automatically, you would find that the words that we speak are positive and our actions are positive. Once we find that this is altered by negativity at the end of the day, everything from our thought, words, and action is affected. So have positivity, think positively. Also, the company that we look at and the company that we engage with, positivity at the end of the day makes a difference. And whatever that we do within the school environment makes a difference ultimately in the community. Speak positively and encourage of the education system. Remember, we are going through a crisis at the moment. The learner, the parent from the outside needs to understand that whatever the system that we have currently or the child is facing, that we are able to achieve whatever that we need to do in the short space of time that is available. That the necessary outcomes that we need to achieve within the year will be met before we progress to the next academic year. Whatever that is vital, whatever that is key for the child to have will be met before 2021. We need to build a confidence in the child and the parent. They must not be felt that nothing is going to be achieved. So ultimately, as being the manager at the school, whatever we engage with and how we talk, everything needs to ensure that positivity is created, that we are able to achieve what is needed in the short space of time that is available. We need to be an example to the community and working together during this difficult period that we are exposed to, and working together with one voice, one thought, one action. One will be able to overcome whatever that we're exposed to during these difficult experiences that we're going through COVID. Thank you. Next one. When we're looking at how we're creating positive energy in the community, How are we able to communicate at the end of the day? We have faith-based organization, we have various stakeholders that are always constantly involved with our schools. And ultimately, they are there for the child. And in order for us to achieve this, we need to have good forms of communication. And having multifunctional levels of communication, whether it's hard copies, whether it's electronic, we need to constantly ensure that communication to the various stakeholders is done on a regular basis. You can either meet on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis per term, but provide factual information guided by whatever documents that are present. And you would know once a community feels that they have relevant content that is available to them, they would feel that the one is able to achieve what is required within the year. Do not hide information. Once someone in the community is aware that this is what is expected and it's not shared, automatically it breaches that sense of confidence and trust within the school. Share whatever that is available to create the community. Next one. When we're looking at building a community, the school automatically, whatever that one is doing within the school environment is transferred to the child, and the child learns a lot. They mirror our images of what is happening within the school. And when you want to develop a community, the easiest way is looking at what we do to encourage and educate the child. So when the child goes home, ultimately, you will find that the child, if we're using masks at school, constantly washing our hands, using sanitizers, using the soap, you will find that the child will automatically mirror these images and actions at home. Parents learn, folk learn at home, and automatically you will find that this process is going to spread. The community needs to see that the schools are giving children nutrition to support them. Then you will find the initiatives that we have with businesses. Remember, a principal at the school is a manager. And the way the school functions at the end of the day is all dependent on the manager at the school. Same thing applies to a business. A business is successful dependent on the manager. If the business is not successful, the manager is not successful. Applies to the same thing as a school situation. How effective and how new initiatives are we able to achieve at the school? So besides whatever funding that is available at the school, as a manager of the school, we need to go out and seek additional assistance, no matter how small it is, but provided that we are able to make a difference in the life of a child. And having this, the community is able to see that we are able to build positivity and growth in the child and in the community. We are able at the same time, for training purposes, have virtual development and training for the community that is within the school environment. The training that we have made sure that, remember, all of us are not exposed to what is expected. Have these trainings, have development sessions, and once a community is able to see that we are bringing about a difference, positivity ultimately brings about growth and change. And when we have changes that are eliciting positive responses, you will find a big difference in everyone. And when you bring about this change, for example, in Japan, one does not shake hands, does not hug. You'll find that automatically one is able to bow. And this is how they were able to reduce the spreading of the pandemic to its citizens. So we need to follow by an example, bring about change, and ultimately change starts within each and every one of us. Remember, change happens within. And once you're able to bring about change within, this is able to spread to the larger community. Thank you.